So our agenda today, so we're going to start with some introductions because of some feedback from our last meeting. Someone mentioned it might be good to just go around, again, quite a small group, so it won't take long, but just to see what departments we've got here, where people are from around the hospital. And then we're going to go through some quick questions and answers, because we've had a few raised in the Teams channel, just to go over those. Then we're going to be looking at what some departments have been up to on social media and what posts have been put out over the past couple of months. Then what's coming up, some kind of events, celebrations throughout March. And then we're going to do an activity based on those kind of celebratory events. Then we're going to share our posts and have a bit of a group discussion about them and give feedback. And then there's just a quick Teams channel reminder at the end. So yeah, this shouldn't take too long. So I'll introduce myself first in case you don't know who I am. So I'm Nadine, I'm from the comms department. I'm usually digital content, no I'm not, I'm usually digital officer. I'm stepping in for Abby who's on secondment, so I'm digital content producer for the next 2 weeks until our secondments end. So after this meeting, she'll be stepping back into this role and handling these meetings. And then we've got Katie, also from the comms department. We've got Hannah here today as well, which is nice. She's tagged along.
Who does actually do social media? So
yeah, no, it's lovely to have you. And then obviously got Josh, the other digital officer, who will be leaving us in a couple of weeks. We're very sad about. And then should we just go around from you, Charlotte?
Yeah, so I'm Charlotte, so I work in Division in Commercial and Projects team, and along with Alex, we manage the Rosie social media and website as well.
Perfect,
and
thank you.
anything else that comes along.
Lovely. And Annie?
I'm Annie. I work with Sea Reach Arts, so we do African socials. Nice to meet everyone.
Alex?
I'm Alex. I work with Charlotte in the Division in Comms team. We also run the Cambridge IVF socials.
Thank you. And Dan?
I'm Dan. I'm a resource officer, and we have a social media, but we've neglected it very much the last couple of months. So we need to reinvigorate what we're doing.
Sure, amazing.
I'm Ruby, I'm from Resourcing Department. I'm a project lead and I focus on our events, social media and website.
Amazing, thank you. Yeah, I think that's what we should probably do for the foreseeable, just because there's so many faces and I'm terrible at names, so yeah, it's good to just refresh that. So there was a few questions in the Teams channel that I just wanted to go through before we start anything. So the first one was what's happened to Instagram. So I don't know if anyone, I know that Rosie uses Instagram. Some people are more on Facebook and Twitter or X. But they've had kind of a shake up with the way they format things. They used to show your photos and your videos in squares, as you can see on the left here, so that's what our Instagram used to look like, and now this is the new format, and you can see everything's a little bit stretched out and a little bit taller. So Sarah from Cancer Services asked if there's anything she can do to kind of, so some people have formatted their images in to fit that kind of like square way of viewing. I can't get that up.
I'm going to get it up on my phone.
Yeah, when you see Sarah's, she's done really well with her content and her graphics and stuff, and it looks really nice and really clearly laid out. But now that it's switched formatting, everything's kind of cut off because it's a little bit thinner and taller. So understandably she's quite frustrated that all her hard work has kind of been destroyed by Instagram's new update. And a lot of people feel like that. Doing some research, there's kind of consensus that people hate it, so it's not just her. like Katie showing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of
yes.
cut things
It's
off.
my partner by the end, to be
Yeah.
honest. So she's done really well for branding recently, but
Yeah.
it's just getting cut off.
Yeah, it's such a shame. But the preview can be adjusted. I'm not sure if this will work for kind of everyone, and if it'll work for like all square photos. But if you were to go on one of your posts, there's 3 kind of like settings dots in the top right corner, and that will come up with an option to adjust preview, and you can kind of zoom in, zoom out, and move it around to choose how it looks on your grid. And so that might work. I can't promise that it will kind of like fix everything, but it's worth a try to try and make it look a little bit better. And the reasoning behind it, so taller posts take up more screen space. Me and Katie were talking about this earlier, making them more likely to be noticed and take longer to scroll past. So everything on social media now is kind of based on or measured through how long you look at something. So instead of whether you like it or whether you like repost, they are measuring how long you were staring at something. So you might see things that you're like, I didn't even interact with this, why is it coming up again, why I'm getting more of this? You probably lingered a little bit on it, and something that catches your eye, you're probably going to linger a little bit on it, and then Instagram will be like, she lingered, she must like it, let's send her more of that. So it can be a bit of a benefit. People might be kind of lingering on your posts a bit more, and they might see more of it. And the extra height gives more room to be creative, so you can add a bit more to your posts, especially graphics and stuff. And then I think the big one is that they're in competition with TikTok, and everything on TikTok is portrait. So I think that's kind of what swung that for them, as much as everyone kind of hates it. And then the second burning question that we had through was to do with Canva Pro. So I think in the last meeting we talked about, so Abby's been pushing to try and get Canva Pro for all our department accounts that we can all use, so that we're not limited on graphics. And she is still trying. It's been a lot harder than we anticipated, and there's been a lot of like pushback. And they've declined it a couple of times, but I think now she's kind of liaising with them and trying to push that a little bit, and from what I understand it's looking a bit more promising now. She just has to contact them from an NHS or a CUH email and give them a little bit more detail and write out some forms and stuff. So hopefully Abby can explain a little bit more and give more of an update when she's back from leave. And I will try and get her to put that in the Teams channel chat to let everyone know how that's going, because she'll know a little bit more than me about that. But yeah, we're hoping that we can get Canva Pro for everyone.
It's not possible. There's just a few
Yeah,
steps. to
there's
get
just
through.
a lot more hoops to jump through than we thought. Okay, so we'll move on to what departments have been up to and some social posts that I've really liked. So I thought I'd kick off with one account that's really new, so it's the Rapid Response Team. I think they started maybe October last year, possibly November, so it's still quite a new account, but I feel like they've been putting out such consistent content, and it looks like it's been getting a lot of engagement, and it's really kind of really varied what they put out. So for a couple of examples from them, an entertainment factor. This was kind of like it doesn't inform it. There's not kind of a lot of information on it, but it was just a really light-hearted post, and we know that animals always do really well on social media. As you can see, they're quite a small group page on Facebook, but they've got 45 reacts, they've got 5 comments, 1 share, and it's just a really nice, uplifting photo. That's Alex there from the Rapid Response Team. Yeah, I really like that one. There's a bit of a joke in the caption as well. So that one was a really nice one.
Does anyone know if dogs are actually allowed in? So
In scrubs?
scrubs?
That's one of the patent, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But I was just wondering, do they go into theatre?
No, I don't think so. It was just as a joke.
Yeah,
rather
I
than
think
necessary.
And then they've been doing some celebrating their staff as well. So they've been putting these out quite frequently. Just little uplifting, motivational posts. So these are just statuses. They haven't kind of gone wild with graphics or anything. They've put a status, and then on Facebook you can kind of like jazz it up and make it look a bit more colourful and eye-catching. So they've just been putting out some little statuses to say thank you to their staff, which I think is really nice. And again, that's been quite consistent, and it just shows a bit more varied posts and varied content. And then of course they've got also their posts to inform. So they inform their staff with some little quick fix tips. And again, if you go through their Facebook, it's very consistent. They put these kind of every other day. They put little tips for their staff, which helps to inform them. And I think that's shows the kind of variety of content that they've been putting out. I think that's a really good job for them. So well done, Rapid Response team.
Is that staff only?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember how many people they've got following at the moment, but I don't think they put any
Yes,
information out.
staff.
Yeah, internal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good internal content. And then the next one I just wanted to look at was CUH work opportunities. They were celebrating National Apprenticeship Week last month, and they did some really good content with Abby from our team. So Abby was doing some videos with Ellie, our apprentice, as well, and they were kind of sharing apprentice stories. So we also have them on our website as well, and they were linking through to our website. You can see at the end there. So it was a really nice collaboration, and kind of was spread across all sorts of channels, our channels, their channels, and our website as well. And I thought, again, the content was really consistent, and I thought it was just a really good way to showcase our apprentices. And then finally, just one from the Cancer Services team. As I mentioned earlier, they've been having some issues with, you can see their kind of formatting is very square, and once that gets kind of elongated, it gets kind of zoomed in on, and you lose the sides because it gets slimmer. So they've been struggling with that. But I think, again, their content's really consistent. I love their layout, and for me, this kind of thing, what struck me was their copy that went alongside it, it's their caption. So I think it's really important to put most of the information, or all of the information, in the caption rather than in the photo, because it helps with accessibility. Otherwise you have to write it all out in the alt text, so it saves doing that, and screen readers can read out the caption, whereas they can't read out any text from the photo itself. And I liked their use of questions as well at the top there. I think that's kind of very engaging and thought-provoking, so I really liked their content recently. So I thought we'd look at what's coming up. So some of these will have passed as we're already into March. So March is Women's History Month. So we've already had International Wheelchair Day, Zero Discrimination Day, World Hearing Day, and we've got International Women's Day coming up on the 8th, which we will hopefully be getting some content ready for.
Yeah.
We need to have a little push on that. And then we've got MS Awareness Week the following week, International Day of Happiness, World Down Syndrome Day, World Water Day, Mother's Day, Eid, International Trans Visibility Day, and World Autism Acceptance Week. And those are just to name a few. There's probably a whole full calendar's worth. But these ones I feel we can really connect to CUH. So those are the ones I kind of chose to highlight. And then that brings us on to our activity. So we might want to do this activity together. I feel like,
Yeah.
possibly, as it's such a small group today.
Maybe we could split into two groups.
Two
and then
groups?
bring them together quite quickly.
Yeah. That sounds good. So what I'd like you to do is to pick an event from the list that one of the ones that's happening in March. You can pick one of the ones that's already been. and either create a social media post. I don't know how many people have Canva on their phones. Does everyone or does no one? People have them,
I
yeah?
have it, but I'm not logged in, so it's very helpful.
Well, if not, I've got some pens and paper, and you can just plan a social post. So feel free to use Canva or download it and log in, and then start to create your social post, or come and get some pens, and then we can plan it out in your groups. And what I want you to think about is how you can connect this particular. So pick one of those from the left-hand side there, or yeah, left. And then think about how you can connect this particular awareness day, week or month, to your service or department. Think about what imagery you could use to boost engagement. Is there a photo you could capture from around the campus, or a photo that you've already got that you think that could connect really well and showcase that event? And consider wording as well. So try and create a little bit of a caption. It doesn't have to be a long one, just something that really can engage people and convey the message that you want to convey. Yeah, and try and think about why you're using the words that you're using and why you're using that caption and what effect it will have on your audience. And then once you've done that, either take a picture of your plan or download your Canva creation and send that in the Teams chat. I know not everyone has it on their phones, so you can just send it straight over to me by email as well, whatever suits you. And then there's the QR code there as well if you do want to join and you haven't joined yet. So groups.
Should we do 2 groups of 4? So Alex